On my previous video about loudness and mixing and how to achieve a louder mix and talking about headroom, a number of people pointed out that with 32-bit float bit depth, you don't actually have to worry about digital clipping because you have essentially infinite headroom. And though this is true that you don't necessarily have to worry about digital clipping as much with 32-bit float bit depth, there are still some issues that you got to be careful, and there are reasons why headroom still matters in a mixing environment. So as an example, I threw together these two loops in Cubase to illustrate the difference in headroom between having it processed for headroom and without headroom. So as you can see, the unprocessed version was hitting really high levels of negative 4.9 LUFS short term, whereas the processed version, where I cut more headroom, was about negative 5.3, 5.4. So we're saving almost a half a decibel of headroom on that. And I know it's kind of hard to tell with phone speakers, but the processed version with more headroom actually feels louder despite hitting lower numbers on the LUFS scale. And even when you loudness normalize these tracks, you can see that the version with headroom will actually be playing a little bit louder on streaming platforms than the version without. So overall, when you're dealing with loudness normalization, mixing, headroom, all that stuff, it is important to have headroom because it's going to hit different master processes a lot differently. Your track will basically be played louder on streaming platforms.